our TV. We used to just have a fixed TV schedule, but now we can choose when to watch our favourite TV programmes, and we can fast forward through the ads. So the broadcasters are stepping up their game and getting us involved with all singing, all dancing, family entertainment shows. Will this be enough to bring us back, or is the TV schedule a thing of the past?
Really, people are still watching as much television as they always have done. It's 25 hours a week. It was 25 hours with BBC One and Two. When ITV came along, it was still 25 hours. Channel 4, all digital television, it's still 25 hours a week and has been. It's just that the competition comes from a multitude of channels, but also a multitude of different ways of getting your telly.
We can get programmes on demand from people like Virgin Media or BT Vision, any number of downloads on the net, and we can record off-air to watch at a time of our convenience. All these technologies mean we can now take time into our own hands.
There's a lot of time shifting now. People aren't necessarily watching TV as it's being broadcast. Whether they're watching it on DVDs they've recorded afterwards, whether they're watching a repeat, whether they're watching on a different channel later on, and so on. Those things are hugely different to the way it was when people were watching even 20 years ago.
12% of viewing now takes place away from the regular schedules. And the one that's really made a big impact in the last couple of years is the personal video recorder, or PVR. OK, so mostly it's Sky Plus. We can tell it to record all the programmes we like to watch, pause live TV to go and get a cup of tea, and it's all saved to a hard disk, so we don't even have to bother with those old VHSs. Remember them?
It's, I think, by far the biggest change in television consumption since the VCR, introduction of the VCR, the introduction of the remote control. It's a huge shift.
The power to watch programmes when we want to watch them is setting us free from the fixed times that shows are broadcast, because we can dictate our own schedule.
PVRs, I've heard them referred to as hit machines. If you've got a PVR, you don't need to compromise. You don't need to flick through the schedule to find something that you like. You can choose up front to make sure that you've got the best television for you.
This technology has taken TV viewing by storm.
I think the Sky Plus is probably one of the best pieces of equipment which has been produced for television in a long, long time. You can cut out the credits at the beginning, the credits at the end, you can whiz through the adverts. So a 66-minute programme, you can cut it down to around about 44 minutes.
Fast-forwarding might be setting the viewer free from sitting through endless ads, but it's resulted in a new problem that broadcasters have never had to face, till now.
People are empowered to skip through adverts, so they're no longer seeing them. Now, the media companies are selling their advertising inventory based on, I will give you X amount of audience in prime time. But unfortunately, a lot of that viewing is what we call time shifted. You're not watching it live. You're watching when it was scheduled. You're watching it later at a time of your convenience, and you'll skip through the adverts.
Broadcasters are worried that the PVR will mean ads don't get watched, which could be potentially bad for business. TV makes its money by guaranteeing a certain number of viewers will see the ads in between their programmes. The thing commercial broadcasters sell advertisers is called impacts. One impact is one pair of eyeballs looking at one advert, one time only.
PVRs have always been touted as a threat to the industry, and a threat to the industry because people are able to fast forward through adverts. But for us as Five, if you get the chance to watch 5 peak programming outside peak, and we get to sell a proportion of those impacts we wouldn't otherwise got, well, it's potentially good news for us.
40% of the shows that are most often PVR'd are dramas. Luckily for Five, that's the bulk of their content. And for other broadcasters, the PVR hasn't necessarily ruled out the power of adverts for good. Broadcasters and advertisers are finding that when fast-forwarding, ads can actually be more effective, because you have to concentrate on the screen so as not to overshoot the next section of the programme you're watching.
Even when you time shift, you go fast-forward for the ads. You don't not see them. I said to people in an ad agency the other day, I think they need to learn new skills. They need to create ads that work at getting the brand message over fast-forward. Because people still step through and fast forward. And if you've seen it in real time once in a live show, you sort of get the brand reminder, even if you're going fast forward. So it's a much more complex picture.
And because people are fast forwarding, sponsorship bumpers have become more important, as they're a visual cue for the end of the ad.
Prison Break, sponsored by 118118.com.
People are looking for sponsorship credits. Sponsorship is really going up the food chain massively, because people know that's a bit of punctuation. It's where they should stop. So the attention to sponsorship credits has really escalated.